Hi everyone and welcome. This is Krishna Priya and I'm using my new spiritual name for the first time live. My name is Krishna Priya and welcome to Human Colony. This is a Human Colony Hucolo webinar.
Hi everyone and welcome.
This is Krishna Priya. There we go. And so we have a very special guest. We haven't had you in a while, Lou. How long has it been? A few months.
A few months, yeah. Long enough. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Welcome back. It's nice to see you.
Yeah.
Coming to where are
West
you
Cork, Ireland.
West Cork, Ireland. So in your
Yes.
nice apartment. All of your apartment, you always have all these pictures on the wall. What are they of?
My friends and loved ones and sources of inspiration and whatnot. This is my big desk is my kitchen table, and this is where the iMac is set up. So I call it the kitchen studio. And so this is where the magic happens. I do the music, I do the channeling, I do the writing, all this in here, the sessions, all that. So yeah, it's actually also the biggest amount of natural light I have in my apartment. So I've got a nice little parking lot outside, and then a field and some trees, and it's a lovely view. The rest of the house is windowless, so that's this is why I'm here.
Well, we're glad to see you.
Thank you.
Kitchen studio.
Kitchen studio, yes. Thank you.
So we have some people here with us today. We've got more people coming in. We've got Wendy, the Mavith, Ryan, Kat, Angie, of course, Lou and Bridget and myself. So it's nice to have you. So tell us what's been going on the last few months with you. Sorry. I saw Angie make a face because she wants to do an announcement. So let me let Angie make her announcements, or she'll be really upset. Go ahead, Angie.
Thank you, Karen. Oh no, Krishna Priya.
The corner of my eye.
Like what? Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. We have a part 2 for the channeling consciousness class coming up November 12th. There was so much information that came through the first time that even after 5 hours, there's still so much more information that is going to be coming through. So it is decided that we will do a part 2, Saturday, November 12th, channeling and consciousness part 2, 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Jim will be channeling that class. And the entities being that the being that is being channeled is called Ganuru, and she is the one that is teaching us about this. 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And if you're interested, it's $150. Please email classes@hucolo.org. If you'd like to participate in part 2, you can purchase the recording from part 1, and I can get that out to you. That way you can watch it before the second class, because it will be a continuation from the first class. Again, that's classes@hucolo.org. The second one is the Tarot Master Class. That will be mid to end January. Interested in that? Classes@hucolo.org. Again, it'll be after the webinar, and it could possibly even be on a Sunday. We haven't decided yet, but that will be $150 as well. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So should we do a prayer? Wendy, do you want to do a prayer before we start? And then we'll get really going.
Yeah, I can do one.
All right, perfect.
All right. Thanking God Creator for all who are here. Anahoro kurinyara pahira noro tuyanara kayenara tatuyanara ta unoro pakayana ishkriya maho tu urunyara kahira taena maratai atata huyanara ka onyoro kuhuyara tayata uchinyara pai kahira tu.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I get a translation. It comes in as blessings to all who are here. Thank you for your work. Thank you for sending love to the universe. asking you to keep in mind your sacredness of all things. We are the ancient ones who come through to remind you that you can be sacred in the smallest of things, but to remember to spend time intentionally in sacredness. Blessings to you. That's all.
Much. Thank you.
You're
So,
welcome.
our dear Lou Martin, let me spotlight you so everyone can see you. Is he frozen or am I frozen? Hello?
He must be
think
frozen
hear
because
you.
I can hear you.
Okay. Let's just give him a second. He's frozen in prayer. So that's a good thing. Yeah, I can't even spotlight. There you are. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, you were frozen there, but your hands were frozen in prayer, so that's not a bad
Oh,
way
how
to.
nice. Well, that's good. Yes, you mentioned your Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is also doing a little wobbly thing, but it will always come back. So,
Yeah, we'll hold tight.
well, hold tight. There you go. That's the affirmation for today. Let me. I have two things to start with here. I've got the translation from the Aramaic to the English of the Lord's Prayer, and then I have a song for you.
Okay, perfect. We
Yeah,
all ears and all
I'm
ears.
all tuned up over here. I'm ready
Okay,
to go. And that was lovely. Thank you for your prayer, Wendy. Thank you. So here we go. If you
Of course.
close your eyes, turn within, take a deep breath. O cosmic birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. We give thanks, we let it be, and so it is. Okay,
okay.
thank you. All right, so here's this is Mr. Dillon one more time. Yeah. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars, climb on every rung, and may you stay forever young, forever young, forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding. May you always be courageous. Stand upright and be strong, and may you stay
Wendy, he's frozen. You're saying, that's great.
That was good, Karen. You just pick up where he left off until he comes back.
I don't know the song. I don't know the song. We will do what he said and just hold tight for a moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I think he's really playing because he looks very sincere in that frozen picture. You know, I've been doing a lot of kirtan like every day here now, before before satsang, and it's been really great to just be able to sing and play. And oh, is he back? Did he fall all the way out? He did. He froze. No, I don't. Let me see. There he is. Lou, are you back? You're muted. Somehow you're muted. You're muted. Still muted. There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
Please.
Last verse. Thank you. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So you're playing a lot now, I see. Like, are you playing a lot of gigs?
Yes. Yeah, well, I was at the market, which has been the saving grace of my time here in Ireland, and did 2 sets there, which people enjoyed. And I've told my musician friends here I want to work on recording an album because I do have about 10 songs between my own and other people's stuff that I'm really in love with. That would definitely be included there. And, I'm surrounded by musical talent here. So I've asked a few and they've said yes, and I will ask a few more, and we'll work on getting that done.
That's so great. Irish musicians are so good. They're such great musicians.
Yes, you are correct. They take it very seriously here. They're quite good. Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Are you singing any Irish songs? Are you singing like Four Green Fields and all that?
I'm singing some Irish songwriters and learning some Irish songs. Sure, Raglan Road and The Water Is Wide, and Van Morrison has one that he did with the Chieftains called The Star of the County Down, which I do from time to time. So yes, I'm getting my Irish repertoire together.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you're kind of for me, because you follow like quite a few teachers and
Yes, dear.
No, but I mean, who are sort of reporting on the energies of,
Sure.
what's going on. And there's a lot of, interesting stuff going on now, but what is it that you are feeling is sort of the pulse of what is happening right now in our world and where we're really going? I can say that being in India now and not being so tied to what's going on in the news, other than little snippets, I've got my own like little world view based on, dogs and cows. but
Dog and cow news, yes.
I know what's going on in the doggy world, but what's going on in your feeling in the energies of the world right now? I know that a lot of people coming here are searching really hard for some peace.
Yeah. Honestly, Karen, it's one of the things I'm grateful for, our friendship and being invited onto your show and be in the space with you, because I get to data dump whatever I've been chewing on for days, weeks. We just had It's a joy. Thank you. It's a great question. We just had we're in this eclipse season right now between we just had a partial lunar eclipse on the
Right.
25th, and then we are partial solar, and then we have a total lunar eclipse on November 8th, which is election day in America, which is going to be exciting. So in the weeks between these two eclipses, yeah, there's a lot of energy stirring, and as you say, people are really we're all being very challenged in any area of our life that we haven't really taken our power back, and
Right.
the dance between Saturn, which is power and authority, worldly power and authority, and Uranus, which is freedom and rebellion, and you can even say individual authenticity. The dance, this is the third conjunction in 2 years, I think, between those two bodies. So yeah, it's all those energies have been working all of us a lot. But I think within all of that, there is I'm having breakthroughs, I'm having synchronicities, I'm seeing miracles, and things are really deepening for me in my own practice. And some days I'll do 9 meditations, honestly, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. But I do see that the door to heaven is wide open if we will feel and know that we're worthy of it, and really be grateful is the other thing. That theme really keeps coming up. Is we all do, no matter what the challenges are, have so much to be grateful for, and if we can focus on our gratitude and our appreciation and love and joy rather than anxiety and drama, then things will smooth out quite a lot. So that's the short version.
That's a very good version. What's interesting is that the eclipse was here. It's in different parts of the world, and the eclipse
Yeah,
did here.
visible.
Yes. But what's interesting about the Hindus is that um, they don't do any ritual. Like no, normally in the morning we do what's called the havan, where you sit in front of the fire and you throw seeds and things on the fire, and that's sort of symbolic of tossing all of your stuff, your pains, your hurts, your angers, things into the fire to burn them and evaporate them. And they didn't do that in the morning. They didn't do any worship ceremonies. And actually during the time of the eclipse, everyone goes inside. Nobody looks at it. Nobody wants to see it. They actually don't want to be touched by the energy of it. So I thought that was interesting. It's like,
Yeah.
they want to, they don't want that just, I guess you would call it, I don't know what discordant energy
Yes,
or
disruptive. Yeah.
disruptive energy. So they all go inside. And I was thinking how interesting that all the West, they go out and they're just like, let's see it. I want to see it. And
Yeah.
all the Hindus
Yeah.
are like running from, not running, I'm not in fear,
Yeah.
but they just
Yeah.
simply like they're like, be inside for this hour to this hour. And then it wasn't until the eclipse was over that they actually did the evening RT, the program, which usually starts at 5:30, but this time they waited till 6:30 till the eclipse was over. I just thought that was an interesting difference between the two cultures. And I wonder if the West, we should be avoiding it, if we should be saying, I'm not going to, I don't want to make it a fear-based thing, because for me, I actually was busy doing work, so I couldn't go out to see it, but I
Sure.
probably would have,
Yeah.
except that I knew that I would have been out there alone because
Yeah.
nobody else would have gone to see it. But I have to just wonder, maybe they're onto something.
Well, yeah, it's a great question. I don't come down either way personally on that.
I didn't either. I really, truly
This,
don't. Yeah.
right? I mean, this is you're living so much with a foot in each world, my friends, and between the West and the East, and you're getting the deep look at what they have in common and how they're different.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating.
Yeah, well, you think about things that have been going on, this is where, if you talk about the Bhagavad Gita, and I mean, here in Rishikesh, here in the lap of the Himalayas, is where so much of this has happened. This is where the saints walked through up into the Himalayas. This is where, you know, all of these things took place between here and Vrindavan. And yeah, it's just quite interesting to be in this. It would kind of be like being in Jerusalem or being in a place that's biblical. I mean, in Hinduism, I'm in the, you know, that sort of core energy place, and the energy of the prayers and the mantras and all the chanting and all the, you know, saints that have been here, and the holy men and women, you know, it's in the soil, it's in the air. So it's a quite powerful, it's a quite powerful transformational place. And I'm really
Sure.
but at the same time, you're living your life. Like, I still do my laundry, I still have to, you know, wash my dishes and do all these things. So it's pretty transformational. But for you, you say your practice is deepening. How is that deepening? What's happening for you? Do you think your connection is
Well,
stronger, or
yeah. Yes, no. So I'm a follower and a fan of the work of Patricia Cota Robles that I always mention. And then a year ago, she did a live for the 11/11, November 11th, from the States, and she had a lady on named Addie Lamborn, ADI Lamborn, and Addie has been making Patricia's videos for 10 years, and Addie has been doing a class for free, like an hour, 5 days a week for most of last year. And I and my friend Annie and others have been on it. It has about 700 people in it sometimes, and
wow.
that's been great. And we've been working with the energy and the teachings of Sanaya Roman, who passed away last Christmas, and her recordings of her channeling from her spirit guide Orin. And so we've done many, 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 many different guided meditations, and those have been very powerful. So, I mean, I've also been a student of Lazarus for 35 years and continue to work with their energies and their meditations. But yeah, I just feel like, we've had 2020, 2021, and now we're coming to the end of 2022. And so the first 3 years of this decade, according to Patricia and others, this decade is really where things change. And so all of us that can be awakened or of service or understand what's happening in the world and help it to happen and support the rest of humanity, we've sort of been put in our place and been shown our mission to some degree at this point. And, it's kind of like the light is really starting to get turned on quite brightly. So, it still takes courage and patience and faith and trust and humility and two steps up and one step back and fall on your bum a few times, to get your attention and all that. But things are definitely speeding up in my movie. That's what I see happening. It's exciting.
Yeah, I don't know why my mind went here, but it has to do with the fact of, people. I'm going to put myself on screen with you so that we can talk to each other
Yeah.
and see each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's we have what's called satsang every night, and it's where people sit and the teacher talks, and
Yes.
people get to have questions. And a lot of people, are asking the question, what's my mission? Why am I here? What's my dharma? And the answer is, you really have a lot of dharmas. You have a lot of things that you need to be doing, but everyone wants their mission to be something sort of big and
Grandiose.
spectacular,
Yes.
that gives them renown in some way.
Yes.
And they said that they're going to become the next whatever,
Right. Right.
fill in the
Big
blank.
deal.
But sometimes our mission is not known to us, but it's part of our truth of who we are. And the teacher gave a very good example, and I was really touched by it, because I thought, that's really exactly how things work. That, and again, it's an example of here in India, but for a
Sure.
child to go to school, it cost about $10 a month. It's very little, but for someone here in India, that could be like half of a month's salary. And I'm
Wow.
absolutely not kidding.
Wow.
And so for a child to go to school, it's a big deal. And if you're living in the slums, it may just be that much out of your reach.
Sure.
So you may be a person who works 3 jobs just so
Wow.
your daughter can go to school.
Wow.
And she's the first one in your village that goes to school.
Yeah.
And from there, she becomes educated. She starts, you know, giving back, and more children are going to school. And pretty soon you have a village that is transformed by the idea of this one father who thought, I don't care if I work 4 jobs. I don't care if I'm working hard, for this measly amount of money. He started a revolution in his own town by educating his daughter. And that, in fact, was his mission, maybe unbeknownst to him, but out of the love for his child,
Yeah.
he changed an entire village. And so sometimes we don't know what our mission is.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone wants a mission of I'm here to interpret spirituality for the masses. But your mission may be just to be the most loving parent. And a mission never has to be that you don't work hard or you don't work 3 or 4 jobs or you're not, and so I just was really touched by the simplicity of something so impactful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
No,
know?
that's beautiful. Sure. Anything that brings more love into the world, through service and devotion and commitment,
Yeah.
I think is important, and grace. And sometimes it's quite private and quite small and quite humble. Sure, absolutely.
And so for people who are wondering is their mission, I feel like your mission is to, until you get some sort of divine inspiration of where to go. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily feel others should tell you what your mission is. I feel like
Oh,
that has to
clearly
be
not.
born out of
No,
you.
no.
And, because someone could tell you anything. But something as simple as being a good parent,
Yeah.
loving your child, you know, going
Yeah.
that extra mile. But you may not see it as a mission. You just may see it as I love my child. So I just think that we have to trust that if we're living in our truth, that can be enough, and that can be just that our mission will be fulfilled, but we may never know how big and how it works into the fabric of all humanity. That's just what I was.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean the bond between a parent and a child
Mhm.
is really sacred, obviously. I mean, that's the core of humanity right there. And you know, whatever it is that moves our heart, whatever that brings more love and inspiration into our daily experience, I think that's what we're all searching for. And everyone has their mission for sure, because God gave us all these gifts and abilities and talents and desires, and a yearning to share ourselves with each other and to give and receive love. So anything that helps that to happen is a wondrous thing. Absolutely, it's a joy.
So
Yeah,
in your
yeah,
part of the world in Ireland,
yes,
what do you
yeah.
see as being like one of the need? I mean, what are the needs? What are people needing there? What are people needing there? Like where do you see being the most, because it's not a third world country, right? So,
No,
yeah. But what is it
yeah.
that people are needing there more than anything, do you
Well,
think?
it's interesting. I was thinking when we were talking about you in India, Ireland, and maybe even Holland, is a first world country, but it's not America. It's not London.
Right.
Which you were just at, which I would have loved to have visited you at. That was a great opportunity there. Thank you for that. Um, so there are still a lot of differences, I guess, is what I'm reaching for to answer your question. But the common denominator, I feel, is this sense of acceleration in the world right now. I mean, as you say, you're not staring at the news, looking at the elections, or the war in the Ukraine, and the influence that's having on Europe, and all these factors that are weaving themselves together, which I did quite a bit of watching of yesterday. I hadn't in a few days. So there's the world that we know, and then there's the world that's being born, is maybe one way to say it. And the world that we know is changing and struggling, and dealing with a lot of conflict and confusion, is one way to put it. On levels, there's a lot of divisiveness and anxiety in that world at the moment. And then the world that's being born, as you and I keep being guided to be very simple and very humble and very heart-centered and very devotional and spiritual, and all of our friends here are the same. The universe, I feel, is asking us to be the peacekeepers and the peacemakers, and say, here's joy, here's hope, here's forgiveness, here's compassion, here's mercy, here's generosity, and keep coming, here's gratitude, and keep coming back to what Lazarus teaches me are the eternal qualities of our spiritual nature, whereas the confusion and the conflict, thank God, are temporary and in time and space and in the third dimension and all that. So there's a tremendous, as we're saying, the eclipses and all these things that are going on, there's a tremendous swirling and churning for people that are just exclusively focused over here right now, and a lot of hard work, like you're saying. I mean, people are working very hard right now to take care of themselves and their families. And then on the other side of it, there's like, could this be easier? Could this be simpler? Could this be more meaningful, more joyous? So, again, hon, I think you and I and people like ourselves that have been able to see something of the world, and live in different countries and meet a lot of different kinds of people, we've had a great education in terms of what's out there and what's possible. And yet, as we know, things are changing, and they are definitely going to change in the next few years. So I'm doing a channeling tonight at 9 o'clock about the power of love. I'm doing a manifestation workshop tomorrow at 1 p.m. about how to manifest. I've sent you some links there if you get a chance to share them. It's fine. And but anyway, I'm just saying, this is me, trying to keep up with it all as you are, and feed the dogs and pay the rent, and keep everyone happy. So but there's a big window, I think, opening right now for people to really reach higher and feel more connected and more supported.
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting because as much as, I mean, the people who come to the ashram are on a certain, level of seeking. And then there's
Sure.
just the people walking around every day, and they're the ones that, a lot of times are needing services like, empowerment programs for women, teaching them skills, schools for children, all these different medical camps we do a lot.
Right.
But it's really interesting to see how, the questions across the world that people have about just how can I be happy? How can I find peace? How can I be satisfied? All, it's the same. I had a young girl walk to me today, and it's very common in India. They'll say something like, "What is life?" It's like such a
Wow.
big question. What is
Wow.
life? And it's like, where do you begin? Where is life?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the question spanning across every socioeconomic,
Oh yeah.
and it's relevant to everyone. But
Yeah.
everyone's just trying to find their way. And for the people that, even if they don't know 100% the way themselves, the way showers, I would say,
Sure.
it's just the time. I feel like now is just the time to be open to people asking the questions.
Yeah.
What is it? Where am I going? Why am I, what am I here for? and these are good questions to answer, because the answer is really just to know yourself. And if you know yourself as divine, then you live your life as, and once you realize you're divine, that everyone else is divine, then you live your life in a much more open, kind way that's inclusive as opposed to exclusive. And then you start to solve the world's problems, because you're not thinking of what can I get, what can I have, what more can I consume. It's more,
Me,
how can, yeah, me, how can we, be healthy? I don't, it doesn't mean that there wouldn't be wealth or disparages between, having and, earning and all those things, but it just means that it could be a little bit more open, so that everyone is fed, everyone is having a
Yeah.
place and safe and all those
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
it's a big turning point, and for a lot of people, it's stepping out of a comfort zone, because it's never been that way. It's always been dog eat dog. We've never lived, maybe the only people that have really lived that way would be sort of the indigenous people that have really lived in a communal, connected way of living.
Yes.
And,
Well said.
there, I don't want to dominate. I mean, this is your time, but I do
No,
want to
you're
share.
doing fine. I'm enjoying this. You're fine, honey.
There was a girl that I was speaking to today, and she is from Calcutta.
Okay.
Now, Calcutta is interesting because Mother Teresa was in Calcutta.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that were proselytized when Mother Teresa was around.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of tribal people who, and she is a tribal person, and she was explaining that, we see God in nature, we see God in the elements and the trees and the rocks, and we connect to God on the earthly basis. And she doesn't consider herself a quote unquote Hindu, because she doesn't have a personified God. She sees God in the sun and the trees and all of her belief system. But when Christianity sort of came in through the Catholic nuns that were there in Calcutta, they built these beautiful schools, and they started bringing the children into the schools, and they would give them free schooling, which what I just said about how hard it is for a parent to put child into school.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'd indoctrinate them away from their own religion and belief systems. And I said, so was Mother Teresa loved or hated in India? And she said, well, she was loved for the work she did, but she was not trusted for the proselytization that she did. And I thought that was interesting, of like how, whatever this need is to pull people away from connection. Organized
Yeah.
religion
Yeah.
has been, organized religion was the first one to come in. Catholicism is especially, it said, you can't talk to God, you got to talk to the priest will talk to God for you. Whereas
Yeah.
indigenous societies connected to the very earth that they're living on, they're living off of the earth, they're, they're having that connection. And I just have to wonder what is the goal? That's control. The goal of
Yes.
control.
Yes, this is the patriarchy, to divide and conquer, and that's what has to be healed. Absolutely, and you're right. The indigenous cultures of the world have been, enduring every terror and madness and genocide, for centuries to return humanity to this point when we could come back into the garden of our hearts and love Mother Earth and love each other and give rather than take, and see life as sacred. All of that, absolutely. Yeah, it needs to happen.
Yeah. So there was a call yesterday with Religions for Peace, which is a sort of UN organization. They brought together all these faith leaders, and one of the faith leaders they brought forward was a guy from Canada. He was called the Grandfather. He was an indigenous
Okay.
pop person, and
Elder.
he was elder, but he was one of the children who had been forced to go to
Right.
school.
Right.
Severely abused and all of these things, and the whole webinar or seminar was about the need for forgiveness, how
Right.
he's had to forgive
Right.
his sort of oppressors in order for him to heal. And the
Yeah.
thing that healed him is going back into nature. That's what he said, going back into nature, rediscovering my connection in nature. And
Yeah.
that's what's been healing. So I
Beautiful.
just have to wonder, so I'm making a full circle here. So I just have to
Okay.
wonder if our connection is about, I mean, not returning to the simpler time, but embracing the world in its more natural form,
Oh
as
yeah.
opposed to only, um, you know, cement and
Oh God, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I think
Anyway,
so, 100%. No, so I mean, so Addie Lamborn is someone who's been working with spirits since she was about 3, and in 2010 she had an experience of connecting with the Divine Mother. And so
mm,
she's chatting with the Divine Mother every day of her life since then. And what the
mm,
Divine Mother wants to remind us is exactly what you're saying, which is the most miraculous, the most incredible wisdom and healing and beauty and abundance and love is held in the earth and in the sacredness of all life and in Mother Nature. And yeah, this is absolutely, the tumbling down from the mountaintop of God help us, our own egos and our own arrogance. And, life is going to demand, I believe, in all honesty and sincerity, our total integrity in every relationship, and what is not true is going to come crashing to the earth. I mean, that's the
right.
short version that I see in the next few years, and it may dramatically start after this election in the States in the next week or so. It's quite
Yeah.
possible.
I don't, ugh, it's going to be interesting.
Yes, I mean, I want to give you another song here just to keep things light, if I
Absolutely.
may.
Please, please,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. I love Karen. I always love chatting with you, hon. You're a deep soul, and you've got great ideas, and you're always walking the talk, and it's a joy. This is my song called "Take Command," which is paradoxically actually about what you're talking about, which is, when we see what needs to be done, which you've definitely been a beautiful example of. Can we step into, take responsibility for doing our part in, helping to be the change, as Gandhi said, you want to see in the world, rather than just complaining or, whatever, right? So I'll give you
Yeah,
that for,
before you,
yeah,
before you start, I also had this thought just now that, so many people go out and they're like, I'm going to go heal nature. I'm going to heal I think we can do that by not polluting, and nature heals itself. But we
sure.
always think that we're so powerful that we're going to heal nature, but it's really nature who heals us. And
100%.
we
The
we
earth
need to get
doesn't need us. We need the earth.
exactly. We need to get a little more in awe of the wonders
Yes.
around.
Humility is it's yes, humility is the thing, my friend. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let me put you back on spotlight. One
Sure.
second.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Lift me from the past, make me strong and fast, nail my life to the mast, with the wind above, from above, never end. Show me heart of gold, walk by me down the darkest road. Teach me what you know, Let me pull the sword from the stone with my own hand. As we take command. It's a life where you change again. If you break, you may save a drowning friend. Look, there's one already stretching out a hand. Will you take command? Use me as your tool. Make me wise if I'm a fool. Teach me the only rule, that I may better serve my fellow man. I know the ground is holy where we stand. Help me take command. Let me live inside your peace, inside your plan. I'm the equal of each woman, child, and man. That love is all that is real, it's what I am. Love is all and all, forward friend. Love is all and all, beginning and end. Love is all that I am, that I am. Help me take command. Help me take command. Help me take command.
Wow, beautiful. That is a beautiful song.
Thank you.
That's a radio.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Glad you liked it. Thank you.
I like
Pleasure.
that. I like it.
Thank
So
you.
when did you get that one?
Years ago. Years ago. Actually, one of the things I'm doing now is I'm starting to teach again the artist's way
Oh,
online.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a great program.
Yes, this is like the 8th time I've done it, and I'm doing that so I can get back into some songwriting
For
because
people who don't know what that is, are you teaching that online?
I am.
Maybe talk to people
Yes,
because a lot of people
I've sent you.
I know, but I'll put the links in, but tell the
Yeah,
audience what it is because there's a lot of people
yeah,
who are younger that may not know what that is,
sure,
and it's
sure.
very
Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's a great program. Where's my book? Looks like this. My copy looks like that.
Mhm.
And got that at the library. And the Artist Way was put together by Julia Cameron, who's a screenwriter and a playwright who used to be married to Martin Scorsese at one point. And she found that her inner child needed more love and support in order for her creativity to flourish in her life. So she created this program. It's based on the 12 steps of AA. So there are 12 chapters. And basically, in each chapter, you're working on healing your relationship to power and authority in yourself. And you're also working on your inner child and nurturing and loving and honoring your inner child. But the basis of the program is very simple. It's the morning pages, which is keeping a journal and writing 3 pages stream of consciousness first thing every morning, which I've been doing since high school anyway. And then going through the book, the exercises and all of that, and taking yourself on an artist's date. But I mean, I keep getting drawn back to this material because it's fantastic for finding your voice and helping people to find their voice.
That's beautiful. And so, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that hasn't, it kind of resurfaces every once in a while, but it's really a very beautiful thing to work through and to be able
Yeah,
to
yeah,
learn how to,
yeah,
when you talk about healing the inner child, I did a session with the guy yesterday, and
Yeah.
it's amazing that in his, in his 50s, going, getting older, he's still dealing with the stuff that happened in the crib.
Right. Every day of our
He had,
lives, consciously or otherwise. Yeah.
he had some serious trauma about it, and about working through those things, and also forgiveness again, being willing to forgive other people and other
Yeah.
situations, because it's not that you're saying what they did is okay, but you're saying, I deserve to be free. I deserve
Exactly.
to leave this in the past. And
Yes.
someone made the point the other day, and I thought about it in terms of forgiveness. If anything that you need to forgive happened more than 7 years ago, there's not even one cell in your body that is
Yes.
the
You
only
could look at
thing,
it
the
like
only
that.
thing that, I mean, but truthfully, and so the only thing that's holding on to that is us. We're holding on to these pains. We're carrying them with us. But truly, with the physical body, say in the form of an abuse, it doesn't even exist anymore. That body that was abused. So it is about forgiving the situation. I would even say you don't forgive the person. Maybe you just forgive the situation.
I think this time we lost Karen to the internet.
Did we? Okay. Okay, thank you. Well, I'm just gonna, I appreciate the help with that. Thank you. I mean, Karen's talking about something that's very dear to my heart, which is the healing power of forgiveness. And I mean, I've been a student of the Course in Miracles off and on for years. I'm not doing it daily at the moment, but I have done for quite a while. And absolutely, forgiveness is a gift we need to give to ourselves, and it's not about letting somebody off the hook, or what was it okay, or am I asking for it to happen again. There's all these common misunderstandings about forgiveness. It really is that until we take responsibility, the magic word, for our part in inviting or allowing whatever terrible, dreadful, difficult thing we created, foolish thing we did or didn't do, until we love and forgive ourselves about it, we're still living in fear of the power of those wounds and the guilt, shame, and blame game, as my guides call it, that goes with us wherever we go. So forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves. And what I do when I'm working with people in sessions is we often do the inner child, and we do, I love myself, I accept myself, I forgive myself, I set myself free. And when you do that, you're basically, your inner child is really listening to everything that you're speaking. Your subconscious mind is listening to everything that you're speaking. And so whatever you're saying, whatever you're putting out there, that's what the subconscious mind listens to,
Yeah, that's
believes, and
so
works on creating in your reality that you are the creator of your reality. So forgiveness, I mean, this is the whole life's purpose of Jesus's teachings, his death and his resurrection, whether you're a Christian or not. If there's any validity to that story, and I believe there is, that was the message, that you can be forgiven for anything you do.
right. And not only that, but there's also this the self-judging. I know a lot of people use the Ho'oponopono, which is a beautiful
Yes,
Hawaiian prayer. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Um,
I like that too. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's true. And what's with these energies accelerating on the planet, that all of us here are on the cutting edge of consciousness and looking for new ideas and new answers and new resources, and to create new relationships together. you know, until we have that peace of mind that we are loved by our creator and made for a loving purpose. You know, this is the daily work every day to clean our side of the glass. You know, as we do that over and over again, you begin to trust that and believe that, and then grace happens, and magic happens, and miracles happen in your life. You're not struggling in your reality so much any longer.
Right, that's so true.
Yeah,
Another thing that when you were just talking about the healing of the inner child, I think a big part of
yeah,
the forgiveness is the judgment that we also attach to whatever happened. We judge ourselves, we judge the
yes,
others. That's currently my journey of trying to find the
yes,
that happened was meant to happen, whether we, believe in a divine God who has laid out our blueprint or not. And that a lot of those things are karmic clearing. Again, whether you believe it or not,
right,
you
right,
know, there,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
the or dharma, as you will, and that as that cleansing is coming through, I mean, maybe again, having to have that belief in past lives, but that you may have been the person that was the bad guy last time. And so
sure,
now this
sure,
time, yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Who am I speaking with here? Is this Wendy? Angie?
Yes, it is me. But Wendy was the one that was just talking. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
great. Okay.
write it
Yeah,
down
no,
just
Wendy, that's right on. Yeah, go on, Angie.
I everything that you have said today has absolutely resonated, and people people need to see that there is so much in judgment, there's so much in forgiveness, there's so much in a lot of ourselves that we have to let go to be the person that we need to be right now, so that we can be the
Yeah,
fullness in God, that we can be the fullness in who he is for our missions. We don't have to know what they are, but we just know that if we're in full connection with him, that we can be that vehicle for him for what it is that he's asking us to do. But everything that you're saying is absolutely true. We do have to move past the judgment. It's hard because we're third dimensional people, and this is the life that we've been living in. It's hard because society tells us we have to think and act and be a certain way, but we have to move past the third dimensional thought process and move into the thought process of that higher thinking, that higher understanding.
yeah, beautiful. I mean, this is a wonderful conversation we're having here. The heart knows what the mind struggles to believe is my favorite quote from my guides. And Lazarus has a beautiful one. They say, compassion is the care that's born out of sorrow. And you're both saying some deep things here, which is, you know, all judge. This is the Course in Miracles again. All judgment is based in fear, whereas discernment is based in love and truth. So we hate what we fear, and we fear what we don't understand. And this is how we stay stuck in good, bad, right, wrong, black, white, your fault, my fault, guilt, blame, shame, judgment, all of that.
Right.
Boring. What's above that is I love and accept myself and forgive myself. I love and accept you and forgive you. And I give you and me back to the Almighty, God, Goddess, all that is, for God's purpose. You know, what Karen was touching on a moment ago in terms of a parent devoting themselves to their child's education and paying for that, and devoting themselves to their child in that way. I mean, I've never been a parent, so that's an experience I've not personally had in that way. But what I can relate to is, you know, wanting to love and serve and help and inspire and heal, you know, and share with people the things that I've been learning that are helpful for me. And, you know, the what I'm reaching for here about forgiveness is we have to keep getting out of our own way. And so until we put love or God goddess, all that is, in the center of our day and in the center of our focus, we will keep getting distracted by people, places, things, and situations and appearances. And that to me is the best way I can say the work I think we're all doing right now, to really heal our mind so that we can feel safe enough and strong enough and free enough to open our hearts. Like when I get to channel, when I get to sing, I'm completely out of my own way, which is such a liberating thing. I get to be like an entirely different part of myself. And those are the joyous moments for me in life. And to me, I feel that's what we're all reaching for, is how can we be liberated from this burden of self with its worries and fears and imperfections and doubts and karma and all of that. And so forgiveness comes back to the center, the 0 point, the center piece, the eternal now, of peace and love and healing. And then we can feel good about ourselves and trust ourselves and take it from there. Does that make any sense?
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Sure.
I'm on the phone with Karen right now. They have completely lost their internet where they are. And so she's
Okay.
trying to, yes. So she's trying to get back on. She's going to try and get on through the phone with a hotspot. But yes, Lou, so many people are stuck in the thought patterns and processes of the past, that in order for them to move forward, it's very hard and difficult for them.
Sure,
So,
honey.
yeah.
Sure. No, you're right. And we're all doing a fine job here carrying on without her. Good for us. You're right. And to come back to parents and really particularly mothers and the divine feminine, this is the difference between the matriarchy and the patriarchy, is the divine feminine is eternally forgiving. And the masculine is the part of us that is discerning and can be judgmental and harsh and critical and fearful and controlling and all of that. But when the sacred marriage is the merge between the mind and the heart, in love, in peace, in joy, in gratitude, in appreciation. So, these wars that we're fighting in ourselves, Sting had a line about a war I'd invented inside my head. You just said it beautifully. This has been the third dimension for thousands of years, since Jesus walked the earth, for sure, the last 2,000 years.
Right.
This battle that we've all been fighting in our heads and then projecting onto each other. Women are this and men are that, and blacks are this and whites are that, and rich are this and poor are that, all that. And yeah, what we're just saying there about the indigenous brothers and sisters, which, I've had some experience with, and nothing but love and respect for these people. They're amazing. They have great wisdom and great courage, and they're trying to teach us how to live in harmony on this earth. And they absolutely also know how important, how sacred forgiveness is. If you're carrying resentment and anger and fear and hurt, you're not walking in grace. And that's the world's story right now. So everyone who can do anything, Ho'oponopono, Course in Miracles, etc., to forgive and to feel forgiven, is helping the world to heal in a profound way. That's my take on it.
That's a beautiful saying. And I was just looking through my notes, because I've always got so many things that I've got put together. But I found
oh yeah, Wendy. Yes,
books and books. But one thing that I had written down was that as soon as your brain starts to play the story of, they did me wrong, they betrayed me, they owe me money, they stole from me, they cheated me, I was abused by them, physical, mental, whatever the story, quote unquote, is.
Well said. Yeah, poor me.
What a good thing, and that what a good thing to say is, as soon as you hear it in your mind, that story being played in your mind,
I'm with you.
To say, I'm just going to read what I wrote. I release this relationship to the Holy Spirit, so we can both be free. If it comes back again, I release this relationship to the Holy Spirit so we can both be free. So it's a quick and simple sentence to say, to
Yeah.
memorize. It's
Yeah.
not a big long paragraph or, you know,
Yeah.
a large prayer,
Brilliant.
but just it's just kind of that whole, I'm giving this to the universe. I'm giving this to
Yes.
God and the
Yes.
spirit that can take this from me so that
Yeah.
can I heal, but they can heal too, because they
Yes.
are a contributing part to whatever that incident was. So, so I
Brilliant.
think it's really a good practice to
Oh,
to
yeah, no, I absolutely.
tool, another tool for the tool bag.
Yes, yes. Oh, this is the heart of wisdom, Wendy. Anytime we bring a loving higher power into the conversation, our ego has to sit down and shut up, and that's the way out. A friend of mine used to say, to err is human, to forgive is highly unusual. And it's true.
True.
And like and like you're saying, and then in growing up in the Catholic Church, God help me, like many folks did, and in all these organized religions, there's always this us versus them consciousness, that we're in this club and everyone else is in another club, and our club's better than everyone's club, and this constant sense of competition coming from a place of insecurity and self-doubt is the way I would say it. But again, when you bring a higher power into any situation, then you've taken the most important step towards healing that situation. And the other thing I want to say is that often the ego gets hung up on this, well, this will be the last time I ever do that. Don't even worry about that. If it needs to come up 1,000 more times, it'll do that. But what my guides say is, you don't get finished, you get better. So every time we bless each other, heal the situation, give it to God for God's purpose. Like, God, I don't know why I was sexually abused at 5 years of age or whatever. I may never understand that. Maybe I was bad in another lifetime. Maybe I asked to heal the world's pain. Maybe I said, I don't believe this would have any power over me, whatever. We'll know that when we transcend this world. But the path to freedom is forgiveness. And as Jesus said, they do not know what they do. It's not mine to judge somebody else's agenda or reason for why they do something. Mine is to, am I my brother's keeper? Can I love and forgive and accept my brother? Yes. My sister? Yes. Then I'm free. If I can't, then I'm a prisoner.
Right, right. You know what?
Yeah.
You do so many beautiful meditations. Would you like to maybe do one that is kind of like
Sure.
like a chakra cleanse? Or I know that I've seen some of your past work, and it actually ties into like work that I do, where I'm kind of walking through the chakras and sending love and brightness to them. But
Sure.
however, I'm just throwing that out there. So however you want to do it is
I'm delighted. No, I want to channel for this group here as well. Absolutely. Do give you
that'd be wonderful.
all my bits and bobs here, as we say. Thank you.
Bring it. Yes.
Sure. Sure. Great. So I'm not sure what it will, will get said, but we'll trust it'll be what needs to be said. And thank you for the invitation. So very good. Go ahead and close your eyes.
He has just frozen for a moment, so we'll give him just a minute to come back. And
while we're waiting for him to come back, just go ahead and take some deep breaths. Hold it into your heart space. And release. Repeat that for several cycles, and then he'll surely come back shortly.
okay, Lou has dropped out, so let's hopefully here he comes back in.
You're on mute.
There we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wendy. All right, take two, as we say. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Once more with feeling. Go ahead and close your eyes, turn within, take a deep breath. All right, God bless you, dear friends. Thank you for your patience and your faith and your commitment and your devotion. 7 stars, spiral down through time and space, touch the crown, take a deep breath. Relax and release. Relax and release. We'll just let the energy flow from the crown, third eye, throat, heart. Take a deep breath. And down through the will center, the navel, the sacral, the root, and down hips, legs, feet. Waterfall of light, dear friends. Beautiful, brilliant, rose-colored light. Opening the heart of healing, dear friends, the heart of mercy and compassion. God bless you indeed. Dear friends, here we go. Life is a mirror, and you came to this reality so that you could fall in love with the opportunity to learn who you truly are beyond the illusions of separation, beyond the reality of time and space, to be that love which transcends the illusions and overcomes the differences. In other words, dear friends, to begin with loving self, to loving and honoring and accepting self. And dear ones, we know that that's easier said than done. That's what the journey of each lifetime sets for you. With your clarity and confusion, with your strength and your weaknesses, with your love and your fears, dear friends. Every human soul comes to this experience to learn through choosing and to choose again. Dear friends, at the crossroads of this lifetime, forgiveness is an essentially and vitally important resource and ally on the path of self-love. God bless you indeed. Take a deep breath. Dear friends, let's call forth the angel of forgiveness who stands before you in this timeless moment right here and right now, and invites you to look with love and compassion at the past of this lifetime and to acknowledge how far you've come, how much you've learned, and how many times you have found the courage and the willingness to forgive yourself and others. Take a deep breath. Dear friends, we say to you, the angel of forgiveness says that there is nothing you could do or not do that would ever in any way put you outside of our hearts, because we know that you are love itself, learning, growing, awakening, sometimes forgetting, sometimes struggling, sometimes denying. But dear ones, love is the Lord and Master of your life and of this time and of this world. And you, in your heart of hearts, have striven to know this over and over and over again. Can this be for you the dawning of the new day? Can this be for you the beginning of your new chapter? Can this be for you the divine calling once again, out of the blue in the way you least expect it, better than you could imagine possible, to let go, to step into the unknown, the infinite, the absolute, the unconditional love of God, Goddess, all that is, that truly is your heart, your soul, your spirit. Take a deep breath. I forgive myself and I forgive all others who at any time, in any situation, in any way, I felt wounded me or whom I felt I wounded. In the illusions of separation, the truth that sets me free embraces them and me as one light, one heart, one divine family. And I call forth the rose light of love, of mercy, of wisdom, of courage, of passion, of healing, of freedom. And I forgive. I forgive. And I forgive. Take a deep breath. Let God decide for you, dear friends, in this moment. God, Goddess, all that is. Let the divine in your heart accept this gift for you and with you and through you. And take a deep breath. You have an inner child. You have an adolescent. You have a higher self, a soul and spirit. You have guides, guardians, teachers, and friends. You have many angels and beings of light who are on this journey here with you. And together as one in this timeless moment, we thank you for the willingness to know that you are worthy and deserving of love beyond any condition, beyond any description, because you exist. Let life love you. Let life lift you up. Let life give you the gift of freedom. Take a deep breath. We give thanks, we let it be. It is so. With a grateful heart, you can come back to this time and place and take a deep breath. I'll give you a
Beautiful.
song. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for the invitation. Pleasure. This is my I Believe in You song, which seems appropriate right here and now. So hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're not hearing the guitar playing. Sorry about that reverb.
You're okay. Here we go. Take two.
Better.
Don't let anyone ever tell you no, that your dream can't come true. You will reap and receive you so. I believe in you. Don't let anyone ever break your heart, make you feel sad and blue. You are here to play your part. I believe in you. There's a path through the forest deep, where the messenger is through. Every gift you give is all I need. How could I not believe in you? Don't let anyone ever shake your faith. Everybody's searching for a clue. You have got something to say. I believe there's a light and it's burning bright. I've watched it blaze the whole night through, like a star that shines so far. I believe in you. Don't let anyone ever slow you down. In the end, that's all they could do. Upon your head, you wear a crown. I believe I believe in you.
Absolutely love that. It's a wonderful, wonderful. You played that for us many different times. And that's one of my favorites.
Thank you. Oh, that means the world to me. Thank you. That's nice to
Yes.
hear that.
Yes.
Grateful for that.
Yes.
Brilliant. Well,
like
we're
the
doing
part-
okay here without the teacher in the classroom, aren't we? So,
Yes. Yeah.
okay. Good for us.
I'm here.
She's here,
Oh,
but her internet is very, very, very choppy, but she is here.
Okay, Karen. Krishna Das.
Hi. Hi.
Karen, because you're so chopped up, maybe type it in chat and we can read what you say.
Really slow. So I'm going to let you guys continue.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'm like not
You're
very
coming and going.
strong.
Yep, she's coming and going and speaking in slow
Yeah.
motion.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely.
You are doing well without the teacher in the classroom. That's
Yes.
good. I didn't know.
Yes.
And
Here,
you know what?
wanna
I actually,
find- Yeah, go on.
oh, I was going to say, I actually feel like this is an opportunity for us to slow down, because we keep the theme that seems to be the take of the day is take two, right? It's like we start and start again. And so I think it's a good reflection of taking time to really do and like be attentive to what you're saying and what you're doing for the day, for the moment.
Absolutely. You know, it's it's great. I mean, I'm thrilled to chat about anything here. Do you want to talk more about forgiveness? I mean, that was a brilliant thing, Wendy. Thank you for the invitation to channel about that. That was powerful for me, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to channel again or however you go, it's your game.
Okay. Well,
I love your channeling. So yeah, get there.
He definitely has low bandwidth.
See, round two, take two.
Yeah. Yep.
it's about it's pretty brief here, but I think you'll enjoy it here. She says the coolest thing just happened.
So the coolest thing just happened.
The
with
coolest
Lou.
thing just happened. I love how it's playing out.
This
Yeah.
and the silence shrouded the land.
We lost
Every-
you.
You lost me.
You
Yes.
might want to start that one over. Take
Okay,
two.
sorry. All right, sorry. Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good. I love the teamwork here. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. So this is Denise Lynn, Linn, and this is on my Facebook page if you want to see it. And so here's what she says. The coolest thing just happened. Just now under the stars, I walked up the high hill behind our home to our lookout. It's a large, octagon-shaped redwood open-air structure standing erect on tall stilts. She says the air silence shrouded the land. Everything was so dark and silent, except for the shimmering stars overhead. She says, usually when I sit on the built-in benches on the lookout, I'm asking the Creator for signs and messages. But this time I said out loud, today I'm not asking for any signs or messages. I just want to hang out under the stars. Honestly, I don't need a sign. Almost the instant I said that, I didn't need a sign. A huge shooting star splashed across the heavens. Wow. Just as the shooting star soared across the sky, an awareness soared through my soul. Even if we are not praying, and even if we are not focused on the Creator, the divine is always at our side. We are never alone. Spiritual forces are always supporting and loving us, even when we are uncertain or have fallen into a dark hole. Speaking from recent personal experience, Spirit is only a thought away, sending you billowing blessings for a beautiful day. Denise Lynn, take a breath into that. Isn't that lovely?
That
Mm.
is beautiful.
It puts like a floral fragrance in front of me.
Great, great. Well, that's a bit of grace.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the take-home message on that is, you know, even when you're just being and you're saying, look, I don't need anything. I don't need any sense. I already know what there is, what exists, you know, I don't need it. And then the universe or God says back, here, take this.
Right.
Because I really want to show you, even though
Right.
you weren't asking for it. Because when you ask for something like that and it doesn't come, then you put well, you know, nobody's listening. But when you just be and let it go, and then he says, here you go.
Exactly. I mean, that's well said, my friend. Who is that? Is that Angie?
Yeah, that's me. Yep, it's Angie.
Angie, great. Yeah, hon, the word for me is grace.
Yes.
And the moment I stop efforting and start focusing on what I'm grateful for, boom, flow, healing, answers, help, inspiration. You're absolutely right. I mean, this is to me, this is what my guides call the heart of the paradox, which is why the mind is a wonderful servant and a terrible master, and the heart of love and appreciation and gratitude. And this is why music is so healing and so transformative and all of this. Anything that opens our hearts, quiets our minds, and brings us back really to the higher levels of reality. And then they pour forth a blessing too great for us to receive. To me, a shooting star is just the most magical thing in life. You know, it's just, there's God saying hello.
Yep.
You know, I love it.
Right. I also think that rainbows are like that. I get this weird childlike joy for either shooting stars or for rainbows, where I'll be like, look, there's a rainbow.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And I mean, this, there's a lot of people have been sharing a lot of rainbow pictures, recently. People are seeing them more as the thing. And of course, with our phones and cameras and internet, we're able to share them, I think, more. But absolutely, this is something that my teacher, Addie Lambourne, talks about, that we have, what we call the rainbow body of light. Patricia calls it the fifth dimensional crystalline solar light body. And a lot of what I'm being guided to look at the moment, there's this book called The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd, which I'm interested in, and I've just started looking at it. And it a lot of the awakening is around our DNA, which again, to be very simple about it, is really around our emotions, right? And because, so the DNA stands up and broadcasts light like little antennas when we're happy, and then it constricts and gets dark when we're sad. We've heard that one before.
Yeah.
So it's just like, how can I help my DNA today? How can I light up my little DNAs so I'm magnetic to the things that I want, and I'm not pushing away the things that I don't want?
Yeah, you know what? I really like that. I'm glad you brought that book up because I'm going to look into it. I actually had an experience. So he's talking about the rainbow keys, what you're saying from the book, and
Yeah.
or the Jing keys.
That's
I
right.
actually experienced that when I came back from Mount Shasta. I was in Kenosha, and a little bumblebee flew in front of me, and I was just in the zone, not really thinking about anything. I just saw the bee, but I
Right.
literally saw behind it this little arc of a rainbow that followed its trail of where it had just been. And so I
Yeah.
saw like the rainbow of the bee.
Great. Yeah.
It was a beautiful experience. And so, yeah, that's really kind of tapped me into more of that awareness of our own rainbow light.
Absolutely. The thing, I remember you, Wendy, we did a session together, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah. I hadn't clicked in with that until just now. It's great to see you again. Yeah, again, the whole universe wants to help humanity awaken, right now, to our spiritual resources, our spiritual inheritance, and like we're saying here, it really does come through a loving heart, and we really do, we're asked to learn to give to ourselves first, what we're wanting life to give to us. And as we were just saying, if I don't see it, it's not happening, where is it? I'm not doing it right. The Abraham, what am I doing
Right.
wrong? What am I doing wrong? That's what you're doing wrong. You're focusing, you're beating the drum on it. It's not happening when we're wanting to give it to you. So again, that's why I just love this woman's message about the shooting star. And the moment she said, I don't need anything, the universe said, good, here it is at last.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
Yeah, it really is amazing. So do you want to ask your guides for like the final messages or anything like that? I know we've got about
Sure.
15
Perfect.
minutes left.
Yes, let's do it. You're reading my mind. We'll do a final last
do
call,
that a
as
lot.
they say. You do that a lot, Wendy. It's a good thing. Wonderful. And Angie, I want to thank you for all your good work, my friend, in hosting and holding the space, and all that
You
you
bet.
do for Hucolo. I'm not here every week, obviously, but well done to you as well, my dear. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Lou.
you're very welcome. We're all in this thing together, as Abraham
bet.
said, right?
You
Yes. Good. I'm happy to be on your team, my friends. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, one more time. Go ahead and close your eyes. Turn within and take a deep breath. All right, God bless you, dear friends. What a joy, what an honor, what a privilege to come together in this enlightened circle and just feel the love and the depth of understanding and the willingness, God bless you, dear friends, to keep searching for those answers that really do ring true to your heart, to not settle, to not compromise your own personal sense of values and integrity. And dear friends, most of all, absolutely, from spirit, from our hearts to yours, we want to thank you for holding the vision. God bless you, dear friends, especially our friends in the United States of America at this particular time. We don't have to tell you there are huge challenges happening in your country around the purpose and the reason for the creation of the US of A, dear friends, absolutely. So we want to tell you that the founding fathers, who helped, and mothers, God bless you, who helped to create this extraordinary gift to the world, are here with you as you move through the challenges of idealism and commitment to the highest vision for humanity with love and respect for all people, dear friends. This is the map, this is the vision, This is the calling of America, and how it is truly the beacon on the hill, dear friends, for humanity, especially at this powerful and often challenging and dark time for many in your world, dear friends. The wonder, the question, will democracy as we understand it, and human dignity, and love and respect for our fellow human beings, will that triumph over, God bless us, dear friends, yeah? The battles for control and the agendas of the dark forces in this world, dear friends. We're here to tell you, as you might imagine, absolutely yes, 100%, dear friends. The light, goodness, and truth have always and will always overcome the fears, the doubts, and the darkness of every human soul and of every human creation. And dear friends, so we want you to rest in this, and to carry this with you as you move through the next days, weeks, months, and years here upon your planet. To know that you are illuminated with the light of truth and justice and liberty. And vision, dear friends, that humanity is of spirit, and that every human life and every life in this world carries the spark of that divine consciousness. Therefore, dear friends, to take forgiveness to the next step, let's let go, please, of any resentments or hatreds or agendas or ugliness or pain or fear or hurt or rage or anger or violence, God bless you, that has dwelled in the human hearts here in this circle, and hold that space for the United States of America, its people, and its Constitution, and its promise to the earth, dear friends, to be the light on that hill, dear friends, even in the darkest moments. And if you're willing and ready and able and available, take a deep breath. Dear friends, the I am presence of every soul in this circle is lit up and illuminated in the light of the Almighty God, Goddess, all that is. And so as you go forth from this time, dear friends, carry that courage, that wisdom, and that indomitable spirit, that humor, that love, that inspiration, and that joyous knowing that you are on the winning team, dear friends. You stand with the Almighty to bring love and light and healing into the darkest hearts, into the deepest pain, into the greatest fears. They are all but nothing, as nothing, to the love and light of all that is, as you. Take a deep breath. We celebrate you. We see you. And we are available, ever available, dear friends. Like the rainbows, the bumblebees, the shooting stars, like the sunrise and the sunset and the cycles of the moon and the seasons, dear friends. It is all, and you are all, in harmony and balance with God, Goddess, all that is, with the divine order of love and light, of truth and freedom in your heart of hearts, dear friends. You do your part to the best of your human ability, and Spirit will always back you up and make you glad for your faith, your courage, and your light and love. We love you so. All is well, dear friends, as your light pours forth upon this country and this earth, blessing all, lifting all up, and loving all, and inviting humanity as one to return to the garden, dear friends, of peace and happiness, of joy and freedom. That is the inheritance of every human heart. We love you so. Peace and blessing.
Thank you so much for that. I know that you froze up right there at the very end of that, and so you were not able to just like take the rest of that. At this time, I think what we'll do, there's about 7 minutes left, do a couple blessings, and then we will go ahead and end for today. Wendy, would you like to do a blessing?
Yes, it'd be my honor.
Thank you.
Purunyarata hiranaka hirata ui shiriyama hirakayanara. Akayanara purunyarata hiranahara kahiyo. Arana akahirata hirato. Iarakayana horunyarahara. This blessing comes with the strength and forgiveness for you to be your most courageous self within your heart, within the love of who you are as a being. We sing to you often because song is energy. The words you speak are energy, but song has a beautiful lilt to the energy, lifting, which is why music is such a beautiful energy for healing. We thank you. We blow the winds of support to your direction. You are loved. You are blessed. And then I hear go in peace. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Our announcements are, we've got the channeling class part 2. It's actually called Channeling in Consciousness, because the premise of the class is channeling in consciousness and increasing your consciousness. That is available. It's going to be 2 weeks, Saturday, November 12th, 1:30 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And that cost is $150. It is part 2. If you are interested in part 1, you can reach out to me, classes@hucolo.org. I can get the recording out to you. That is available to purchase that. And then you may be able to participate in part 2. Karen's Tarot Master Card class we're going to do in January, and that's connecting to your higher selves, past lives, teachers' guides in a direct way that it can help you with your life. All right, with that, next week we've got Jim back, and so we will go ahead and for today, thank you everyone. Please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.